My Hero Academia, Chapter 204, titled Tuning. It actually reveals that there is, in fact, a Tenya family practice of increasing their own natural speed. And it's very much akin to, um, baby teeth coming out in order to be replaced with stronger, adult teeth, and he learns this from his brother. Um, uh, and it's a practice that actually looks a little painful, and that is exactly specifically removing their older mufflers and and having newer ones grow in, which just you know seeing Tenya do this actually looks incredibly painful. Like, this looks stupid painful. Like, he's pretty much like snapping off his fingers or something. But he had to remove all like six of the mufflers on his calves in order to allow newer ones grow in. And with this, it increases the horsepower of his Recipro for a maximum of 10 whole minutes. And that creates a almost unstoppable form of speed for him now. I mean, 10 minutes is all it really takes for someone who is truly fast. The only downside being that he's so fast that he doesn't really know how to control it. He doesn't really have the reflexes to respond to the amount of speed that he has going, but that's good enough because with this he should be able to take down Juzo. However, Juzo sees this as a big problem. He can't keep up with Ida's speed. So he basically uses his Mudman abilities to just sink into the ground and go swimming back to his allies. Ide uses this moment to, not waste his Recipro, and he goes back to help out. And we join in with the showdown between Sen and Ojiro, who actually has, last week I had talked about the fact that it's, turning skin is a little bit tougher than Ojiro's regular old tail. But as it turns out, Sen also has, you know, I guess little metallic things on his fingertips to allow him to do even more damage. So Ojiro is doubly kind of screwed in this situation. I also kind of feel bad for him because we have this little aside where Jiro and Sero talk about the fact that, you know, Ojiro fights very plainly. He fights in a very standard manner, which has always kind of been the thing. He's like, there's only so much a dude with a tail can really do. But, he's got good defense. His capabilities have gotten pretty good, but he still just fights like a dude with a tail. So I always feel bad for Ojiro because everyone's so down on him. But it's just like, yeah, well, you don't think you got going for you. It's the fact that you have a tail. So there's only so much that can come from that. And we even have this moment where Ojiro's just like, why is this pain in my heart? So I'm sorry, man, but ultimately, even your tail power is not enough to deal with this situation. And as Sen goes in for the finishing blow, in comes Tenya to just grab him and take him to the imprisonment. And Sen even remarks, it's just like, man, I haven't even gotten to show off all the stuff I can do. And he's just like, if I'm to be a hero outside of outside in the real world, I have to do my utmost during training, you know which is a good frame of mind that Ida has going on here. It's just like, no, I can't allow even the villains to show off what they can really do. Take them down quick, fast, and in a hurry. That's efficiency on Ide's part, And again, like I said, he's trying not to waste his Recipro right here because it's just like it's a last. It's his power move, his ultimate move. So he's just like, don't waste that by having that just slip away through his fingers. So as that's happening, we pick up on what had been happening with Tetsu. as well as Shoto Todoroki, where Tetsu is just blasting through everything that Shoto pulls out. He keeps trying to stop him with ice, and Tetsu keeps just crashing right through it, and he's just like, yeah, you can't stop me with that, bro. So finally, which I was wondering why he didn't just do that in the first place, he decides to just put out a wall of fire against Tetsu. However, we come to find out that Tetsu has kind of adapted to this and has made it so that his quirk is able to, withstand all of that heat like a metal stove surface, like a metal stove. So he kind of conducts, he's able to channel the heat now and is almost pretty much able to absorb it. So this ultimately kind of turns against Todoroki in this situation. And now Shoto can't even touch the guy in fear of just being burned slightly. So it's just like, now you've created an even worse situation by heating up the metal dude. So it's just like, what can you do against this guy? He crashes through all your ice and he's able to just withstand all your fire. Although I think if he were to cool him down and then heat him up again, that would create a kind of same situation why you don't, quickly cool off metal pots and pans, as they'll end up cracking because of that shift in temperature. Like anything that you quickly shift temperature with, people, objects, that can get destroyed very quickly if you do that too much. However, I don't think that'll be the case here, as ultimately Todoroki ends up thinking back to what his father talked about, this ultimate ability, which is an intense final technique that he had constantly been trying to pass on to Shoto, and which was an ability that even his older brother wasn't able to contend with. And as Tetsu goes all out for the final blow, Todoroki gets ready to unleash this attack. So it'll be very interesting to see what exactly this final move that we've just been being teased for over the past few chapters. Because it's just like we're constantly getting this callback to this final attack. This attack that, Endeavor was trying to teach Shoto all this time. This perfect technique that even he was unable to fully master because he burnt out too quickly. But with his half hot, half cold technique, it's the perfect technique for this situation, I guess. But overall, hey, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about Tetsu's ever adaptability, because he just seems like he was just going all in just for the hell of it, but no, he actually had a plan here. He understood that he was the best person to go up against Shoto because he could just get through his ice and get through his fire with no problem getting close, and Shoto's not very much a close quarters combatant, so that really works out in Tetsu's advantage. But there's also Ide's newer Recipro. What do you think about the fact that he had to remove his old mufflers and allowed new ones to grow in? Like, how long did that exactly take? That's such a painful thing to do. Like, like, how does that even work? Like, what? That's something about that seems so weird. And what do you do with the old ones on top of that? Something about that just seems squicky. But the fact that he has a greater boost of speed for a longer period of time is very much a plus. It's also unfortunate that Ojiro wasn't able to completely contribute too much to this situation. And ultimately, Shoji has to contend with Pony Tsunatori, so we'll see if anything really comes with that. If Shoji really gets any kind of time in the spotlight or anything like that. I feel bad for Sen because even he didn't really get to show off the full extent of what he could do, which just kind of shows that he probably wasn't that important to begin with. Um, but this was an overall fine chapter. Nothing too important really happened here. You know, just a lot of one-upping here and there, and just taking people off guard. Nothing too great. That real money shot is definitely gonna come next week. But for the most part, Tetsu stole the show because it's obvious the author has a very soft spot for him and always wants to show him off whenever he can. Although he is pretty much trying to, highlight Juzo as someone to keep an eye out for. So I'll definitely be doing that in the future. But again, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. If you liked what I had to say about this chapter, leave me a like. And if you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and hopefully tell me what I'm doing wrong. And subscribe for more chapter reviews of My Hero Academia, because the next chapter is guaranteed to burn hot.